Hello, my name is Benjamin Troglia. This video will go over information regarding certain procedures within higher education, such as legal status, contractual rights. They'll also go over legal relationships that students may have. They'll also go over responsibilities that student professionals may encounter, and also go over regulations that help govern higher education system as a whole. So, what does it mean when we refer to the legal status of students? So, what this means is students are recognized under the federal constitution as persons with their own enforceable constitutional rights. They're typically recognized as adults with the rights and responsibilities of adults. Um, an example of such broad rights can be when a student turns 18, they may be permitted to enter binding contracts without the need of a cosigner. They can give consent for medical treatment, and they can declare financial independence. What does it mean when we refer to contractual rights of students? So, the most common contractual rights refer to rights such as a housing contract, housing lease, food service contract, a loan agreement. Um, a lot of these rights can be viewed in the student handbook or college catalog. And when there's ever disputes in this area, they typically refer to those policy handbooks that I previously mentioned. Um, what defines a legal relationship that students have with other students? So, tort law and criminal law can somewhat define students' legal relationships that students have with other students, but oftentimes it is more of an internal government. So, for example, um, a lot of internal governments can refer to student conduct codes, housing rules, rules regarding student organizations, and again, they'll be found in those specific policy documents that the entity has created for their student to student conduct. What defines legal relationships that students have with an administration? So, this one refers more to regulations that may govern um, members of society outside of the higher education system. So this can refer to tort law. So an example is if, for instance, if a student suffers from assault, battery, or intentional infliction of emotional distress, usually those are forms of liability that an institution may have. Also, criminal liability, hazing laws, some laws specifically referring to federal and state civil rights. So, what defines legal relationships with students with that they have with an administration? That that answer is laws or regulations that cover individual rights, and a lot of those laws and regulations can be found outside of the higher education system. What responsibility do students have with professionals when working with student and file records? So, um, these rights or these responsibilities refer to protecting and making sure that student records remain private. So, a law, for example, as FERPA, establishes three basic rights for college students. So, a student has the right to inspect their own education record, to request corrections if there needs to be any corrections, and it also restricts their education documents. It restricts the access of those documents to others. In some cases, this may even include the student's parents. And these documents, what are these education records? So these education records refer to any records that are directly related to student um, and that they're maintained by an educational agency or institution um, in acting on behalf of the student, or it could be financial records of the student, etc. But as long as it pertains to the student, those are the type of documents that a institution or department has of that responsibility of protecting. So three other student-focused regulations that govern the responsibilities of Student Affairs Department. Again, I overviewed FERPA. So FERPA pertains to the protection and privacy of educational records. HIPAA is also a common law. So HIPAA protects the students' information regarding personal health information and healthcare records. So they fall along similar lines, but one refers to educational records, the other refers to healthcare records. Title IX also it has a big impact on governance within higher education. So, under Title IX, no one should be discriminated on the basis of sex, be excluded in the participation of, or be denied benefits, or subjected to any discrimination under any educational program that receives federal financial assistance. So, to sum it up, an institution must create this equitable environment, maintain certain standards so that all students, regardless of gender, feel welcome to their institution. Thank you.